Shalom, shalom, this is Kapaya, a.k.a. Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with a sit-down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, I want to send double honors because they do real well. For the brethren around the world pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered. Hold on. And the elder bishops out of Connecticut. For the brethren around the world push this truth uncut, unfiltered, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly break it down, the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet. Claim wanted. I want to send salutations. For the hopeful elect, I hope this is edifying for the Aquat, the few and the true, that is listeners to say the chair to keep doing so. But for the scorn, scoff, and reprobate 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble is only going to get worse. Okay. This came up in my thumbnail. Knew I had to do a quick sit down on it. This, that, and other. Okay. This is newsworthy. Illinois Radio Network. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says rental assistance funding has been diverted to help pay for migrant care. So you women that didn't need no man because the government was paying for your housing and all this other kind of stuff, rental assistance and all that other stuff. Look at what the government is doing. So they showing you, like we've been telling you, Esau Edom, your daddy, your man, the person that you the pit bull for, starting to pull your shit. Okay, little by little. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says rental assistance funding has been diverted to help pay for immigrant care. So your rental assistance and that type of shit is going to start being diverted. Let's read a little bit of this. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is asked about the Biden administration moving forward with building a wall along the southern U.S. border. Okay. When asked if the state would consider a supplemental appropriation to cover costs for immigrants, Governor J.B. Pritzker says they will continue to use the taxpayer-funded programs already budgeted. Chicago has seen 15,000 non-citizens arrivals sent to Chicago after crossing the U.S. southern border. The city and state have already spent hundreds of millions to care for the immigrants. On Thursday, Pritzker was asked how the state plans to keep funding available for the arrivals. Pritzker said while the state budget is balanced, they do not have any extra funds and have been forced to divert taxpayer funds from these programs. And you can't see how this is going to create sedition among men. Let's get some scriptures here real quick. Starting at 15 and 15, excuse me. Hold on, one more thing I got to do real quick. Let's see. Where's it at? No. Salakia. do it, I gotta go into the settings real quick because I don't want nobody interrupting this. And it always happens. If I don't go in and do it, then it always happens. So let me see. What am I setting? All right. So now this. Okay. So now let me go over here and get this. Okay. I'm sorry, 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. 16. For there shall be sedition among men, okay, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Okay, let's get this understood. All those people that's coming in under that immigrant shit, not immigrants. You got secret sales and everything else that's coming in the midst of that. Excuse me. You know, we were just discussing this at the Sunday Bishop sit down here in Chicago, and how a lot of them people got sleeper cells and things of this nature that's mixed in the middle of that. Okay. You know, I was out at the airport and we used to see certain cats. I used to see certain cats coming in. I'm like, boy, stacked. You know, you could see these types of things on these guys. You know, where they carry themselves, they posture. You know, the strength and the vigor that a person walks with, and that type of thing. You know, and it's a natural thing. When you done have to train yourself in certain scenarios and get your physical fitness up to a certain level to be able to know that you can handle yourself, you carry yourself in a certain way. Lord knows, you know, like I said, you know, Murph says it all the time, you know, and we, you know, pop back and forth about bodybuilding stuff and this, that, and other, because I used to be into it before my motorcycle accident years ago. And there's a certain way you carry yourself. There's a certain posture. There's a certain uprightness, shoulder back, you know. It isn't necessarily proud. It's just a posture. I'm here. I'm in the room type of thing, you know. That commands respect. You can see it. Okay. And you got cats that drive Uber and Lyft and whatnot, and they see these guys coming in now. And I'm like, yeah. Because when I used to come into the, like I said, I used to come into the room and it was the same thing. And this isn't about me. I'm just saying, and you become aware of that. You know, you become aware of that. You know, I was dating a woman years ago, like I said, even before I had my son, and it was that way. You know, she wanted to go and check out Farrakhan and this, that, and other. And they, you know, when you go in that place, they pat you down. You know, they didn't want no Malcolm X scenarios anymore, so they pat you down and this, that, and the other. And I mean, and she was voluptuous. She was voluptuous. You know, and they went through her and did this, that, and the other and whatnot. You know, had a female, you know, checker and this, that, and the other. But when they pat me down, they was like the security team was like, you know, the guys that was on the security team was like, dude, we need this dude on the squad. You know, they would pat me down and they could tell. They were like, damn, this nigga, you know, he ain't a big tall dude, but this nigga is here. You know, he in here. We need him on the squad. Hey, bro, you know, I was always asked about that. You want to do security? You want to be a bouncer? Shit like that. Little side note type thing. But that's what I'm saying. So that's to go back to the fact that when if you keened into that, You recognize that when you see that. And that's all I'm saying on this note. But yeah, so sedition among men, this, that, and the other, and sleeper cells are mixed in the middle of that. Okay? Okay. Excuse me. A man shall desire to go into a city, shall not be able, for because of the pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. This is the the chaos, so the order can be set in the process of, and all this is that. This is the chaos. People not able to get their funding and things like that, and these types of things. And like we were saying, a lot of these Venezuelans are cold right now. They haven't seen the cold that Chicago can get. Okay, so these little half tent cities and shit like that, Pritzker can try to circumvent that by diverting the funding, but then the process of that, then who's going to be getting put out? Who's going to be hitting the bricks just as the winter is setting in? And then the ones that's still out there, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to stay out there? That's why I said this is getting ready to hit the fan, okay? They kept motherfuckers distracted with bread and circus all this fucking summer, and now this cold is getting ready to start setting in, and it's about to be a game changer for the whole city, okay? So let's get back to that. On Thursday, Pritzker was asked how the state plans to keep funding. Pritzker said while the state budget is balanced, they do not have extra funds and have been forced to divert taxpayer funds from other programs. Okay. We have taken some of the programs that have pre-existed the crisis and adjusted them to help with the immigrant crisis, Pritzker said. Let me give you one example. Our rental assistance program. We have provided some of that rental assistance money, which wasn't originally intended to be about asylum seekers for this challenge. State Representative David Freyes, Representative Red Bud told the Center Square that the plan to divert taxpayer funds intended for legal residents who need support is not the right move. So you got sedition among men. Like I said, you see what I'm saying? So you got infighting in the government itself. You say it's not the right move. I think it's a horrible idea. We have citizens in this state that need that assistance. Obviously, that's why this program is in place. Freyes said, unfortunately, our borders are wide open. State Representative Brad Holbrook, Shelbyville, also Republican Shelbyville, also pushed back on the use of rental assistance money to pay for the immigrants and said this is a result of the state running out of options. The governor has been calling for the White House to take some action. He began to call on other communities in the state and has offered up some $40 million. And I'm not sure where that is coming from, Holbrook said. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who has been pushing to pass a proposed tax increase on the sale of property over $1 million to address homelessness in the city, said the state needs to provide more assistance. I'm going to continue to my part. I have expressed that the state has to do more. I have expressed that the federal government has to do more. Johnson said, that's just where we are today. It's anticipated the city and taxpayer funds could cost more than $500 million, $500 million to care for the incoming non-citizens. Okay? So you see what's going on. So this is going to create that. So what is that going to do? Okay? No matter how much a person might want to help somebody else, they want to make sure that they're covered first. Okay? They're going to want to make sure that they're covered first. So that's going to make this pop up. Matthews 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Iniquity, unrighteousness. Okay? Unrighteousness. Unrighteous all the way around for all these things to be in place in the first place. Women shouldn't have been deceived and duped in the thing that they didn't need their men. But nobody's been duped more than that than the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women. Okay? Nobody's been more duped that they don't need their men than that. Okay? And especially the so-called black woman, the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi here in America. They've been absolutely duped into believing that they didn't need their men. And now these government programs are getting ready to turn on their ass, and they ass out. They assed out. Okay? And that's to create the uproar, the clamor. And that's exactly what it's going to do. So, hey, for you hair hat wearing ass women that thought that y'all didn't need a man and y'all big and strong and got it, okay, you got it then. Handle it with that. Okay? Because that rental assistance, like I said, it's not a lot of bros I know that got rental assistance. Not a lot of bros that I know that's on Section 8. Okay? Men in general. There's not a lot of men that I could think of that I know that's got Section 8, but it's a gang of women. Okay? So with that, I hope that's edifying to know that, like I said, they're going to they're starting to defund your programs. Okay? So with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I want to send double honors because they do rule well. For the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hold on. Let me start this over. Make sure I got it right. I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, the elder bishops out of Connecticut, those two apostles that's been moving around a lot lately. I want to send double honors because they do rule well for the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and ugly, the prophecies, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet, declaring wanted salutations. Hopefully, I hope that's edifying. For the Aquat, the few, and the truest listeners to say the charity, there it is. And for that whole first group, I sent a hearty shalom. But for the 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, he's going to get a whole lot worse. So for the first group, a hearty shalom, and stay rooted and grounded, and keep praying, keep fasting, keep asking the Lord to give you strength to get through whatever it is he's going to put you through. And for you 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, a ball.